Federal Reserve, which, of course, is private property?
No, there hasn't. They've been peaceful, and we're, appreciative for that. We have not asked for their assistance on any of our demonstrations, and we're good with that. They're good with that. Everything's good. What happens as this movement continues to grow, we'll see then. But I trust that the movement is a right movement, and we have right on our side. So we have every reason to be courageous and bold and confident that we're accomplishing wonderful things that are going to be very beneficial.
Now, there's been some Ron Paul protests going on in Dallas as well. Could you tell us about that, Rick?
Thank you, first off, to Dallas for Ron Paul, the Ron Paul Meetup group. They've been very warm to the Occupy the Fed Dallas movement. I'd like to see more of them out here, but, that's just how it is. Everybody has jobs and busy lives, so I'm thankful for every person that comes. And I do strongly believe that the Ron Paul supporters are on their way. I think everybody right now has been waiting for a week to see what's actually going to happen with this movement and see what's going to happen with the Occupy movement. And I think now, thankfully, to you, Aaron, and Alex Jones, and y'all getting the word out that we are actually there. We have feet on the ground here in Dallas. And so people are coming. I know they are, and we look forward to seeing y'all here.
Exactly. And your continued occupation of the Dallas Federal Reserve really puts a spotlight on the true root cause of the systematic economic problems that we face, that all these movements are trying to address in one way or another. And, of course, we need more people to come down there. The Ron Paul factions have been protesting the Federal Reserve since at least 2007. I think that, too, sends a great signal. And we just hope more people will join you there in Dallas or at Federal Reserves all across the country. Thanks so much, Rick Warden. Continue to occupy, please. And we'll be back after this break with more on the Infowars Nightly News. Stay tuned.
If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the Infowars store at Infowars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe Infowars T-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at Infowars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there, wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at Infowars.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there. Infowars.com.
And we are back from break. Again, I'm Aaron Dyke sitting in for Alex. He's still doing the radio show, and he'll be back next week. Now, I just want to put in a quick reminder that on November 3rd, we're going to have another money bomb. We are not corporate supported. We depend on your support and your subscriptions at PrisonPlanet.tv and through special outreaches like the November 3rd money bomb. Now, in other news, the FBI has admitted and really promoted that it's recording talk radio, including callers and everything. So Kurt Nimmo writes, if you call into the Alex Jones Show or hundreds of other talk radio stations that maintain a web presence, there's a good chance the FBI will record you. Well, that's a no-brainer. They're just obviously putting this out as an intimidation tactic. You've heard about the Missouri Information Analysis Center and Homeland Security targeting the right-wing extremists and other radical groups. They're really just trying to institute an overall chilling on free speech, trying to make people feel uncomfortable speaking out. Just ridiculous. Also, Kurt Nimmo writes, House bill would criminalize satire of TSA. This is in regards to Bill H.R. 3011, introduced in the House, entitled Transportation Security Administration Authorization Act of 2011, with curious language about colorable imitation or such words, initials, and likeness of the Transportation Security Administration or various federal air marshal services, the use of the insignia or badge on apparel or in connection with advertisements, books, software, and other publications. And what they're really talking about is if you attempt to portray yourself as representing the official legal entity of the TSA, but at the same time, we know there has been, like I said, a chilling on free speech, and they may use this kind of bill to target satire as well, to put people on the defensive, that they need to put a disclaimer that they don't officially represent the TSA. Of course you have a right to satire, to parody, or to even just show official photos. The TSA has already tried to intimidate you out of filming at checkpoints, intimidate you out of showing press release photos and reporting on them. And this is just another step in that direction. It's already illegal to impersonate a law enforcement official or other authority, so this is really an unnecessary move, but here it is anyway. Now, we're going to take you to 2 interviews on the fluoride subject. We have an in-studio guest coming up at the end of the broadcast, Laura Presley, Ph.D., on some of the tactics of removing fluoride. And before that, Tony Casso, who successfully lobbied Pinellas County to remove the fluoride. But first, we want to talk about New Plymouth in New Zealand, where they just agreed to remove fluoride yesterday, October 13th. Today, New Plymouth District Council decided to stop fluoridating the water supply for the New Plymouth area. And again, towns everywhere are starting to wise up that there's no good science to water fluoridation. That's, in fact, very dangerous, and it's not right to mass medicate people. In fact, the Water Authority for Great Neck North, which is in the Long Island area of New York, has for many years admitted that fluoridation of community water is no longer considered a priority or even desirable, even despite the fact that the CDC has called it one of their 10 greatest achievements in the 20th century. Now, more on that Pinellas County Commission vote to stop putting fluoride in the water supply. That happened back on October 5th, and we are again going to be talking with Tony Casso. He's quoted in this article as saying fluoride is a toxic substance. He's called a Tea Party activist. He's really just an activist. This is all part of an agenda that's being pushed forth by the so-called globalists in our government and the world government to keep the people stupid so they don't realize what's going on, adding, this is the U.S. of A., not the Soviet Socialist Republic. And of course, that's true. If anything, fluoride decisions should be made locally, not pushed from the top down using various funding mechanisms to make it seem mandatory. For more on the removal of fluoride in Pinellas County, we turn now to Tony Casso, one of the men who helped get fluoride removed from the water supply there. Tony, thanks for joining us. What can you tell us about how this process happened?
They took a consensus back in 2003, right, to put the fluoride in, which was really not a vote of the public. And we've been against this from the beginning. And it actually emulated as being part of the budget process in our county. They were looking for ways to cut money, right, because they were evidently, right, not balancing the budget. And this came up as an item, and it left us an opening to go after it.
Well, sure, that's an issue in all these towns. We have to pay to essentially poison ourselves.
Exactly. And even though it's not a very large budget item, it's still a savings to the citizens of the county.
Pinellas County, what are the major cities in that area? How big of an area does this cover?
Well, it's one of the largest, or if not the largest county in Florida population-wise. There's close to 1 million people living in Pinellas County, right? We're due west of Tampa, right? The city of Clearwater is part of Pinellas County, so is St. Petersburg, Tarpon Springs, and it's pretty much your northern boundary to your southern boundary of the county, right? We're not the largest in landmass, but we're one of the largest in population.
And what did you mean by the quote in the article when you talk about the globalists pushing for the fluoridation as part of their larger agenda? Can you clarify those statements?
Well, as far as the globalist part goes, right, I've also been fighting UN Agenda 21. Now, I know a lot of people think it's a conspiracy theory, but it's not. It's real, and it's here. Right? When we speak about it, they just say we're a bunch of nut jobs, right? But if people get on their computers and do the research, right, they'll see that the UN Agenda 21 is involved in every part of local government And every one of the programs that they're doing is related to UN Agenda 21 on the local level.
Well, sure, it's not even real fluoride, and that's always been one of the larger issues, is that they sell this as a medical health benefit, but why would you take it internally and part of all food, so that's in foods at restaurants, foods everywhere, part of food preparation and the water you drink and drinks you buy from stores? I mean, that's really the larger issue we're trying to fight here, isn't it?
We're not asking them to remove the natural fluoride. We just don't want them adding a toxic substance to create fluoride, or what they call fluoride, into our water system. Right? And I don't know if they have a license to medicate us.
Exactly. Yeah, it's forced mass medication. Now, the larger national issue here is that for years they told us you can't remove fluoride. It's been trickling in everywhere. It only came into Pinellas County, I believe, in 2004. But now there's a larger movement across the country of people fighting to get it removed. And we've had a lot of victories. There's been at least 250 cities where the fluoride has been removed. This was a major victory in Pinellas County. What can you tell people out there who haven't been able to remove the fluoride yet from their cities, but are looking to fight and win that battle?
Well, to fight it, what the people have to do is get every piece of information there is on the fluoride. Send it to your county commissioners. Send it by email. It goes into the public record. Right? There's a lot of good information on the internet. You got the Fluoride Action Network. Right? You can take them right from the EPA and CDC reports. Because if you actually read them, they tell you in there how bad it is. Unfortunately, most people only read the first 2 pages and they don't go any further.
That's right. All these government agencies have had to admit how dangerous it is and have had to recommend, even openly, to lower the amount of fluoride, if not remove it. Now, tell us, did you appeal to the county commissioners individually in the town? Did you educate them, or did you get a mass number of people to show up at these meetings? What was key to the victory in Pinellas County?
Well, it was a combination effort. The combination effort was to start, as soon as they came up with reducing the budget, right, we started bombarding them with every piece of information out there that we had on the fluoride issue. Plus, we do attend every county commission meeting, and every chance we had to speak up against it, we did, until we got through to a couple of the commissioners that were up there that actually ended up understanding what the issue was, and they brought it up. And by them bringing it up, right, of course it invited the ones that were for fluoride into it, which was the ADA. But the ADA has no credible evidence that this even works.
Tony Casso of PinellasPatriots.org, we thank you for your action and the victory you had. We want other people to take action wherever they are, because they too will start to have victories. Tony Casso of PinellasPatriots.org, thank you for your fight. You had a victory. Now others who take... let's just do that again.
Right, yeah. Remember, we're throwing a break.
Yeah, okay. Tony Casso of PinellasPatriots.org, you had a victory up against the council. Thank you for your fight, and we ask others to fight out there. We're going to be back from break in just a moment with Laura Presley, Ph.D., more on the fluoride battle, where we are beginning to have many victories across the country. Stay tuned. Infowars Nightly News.
If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the Infowars store at Infowars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe Infowars t-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at Infowars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the